What's up, nerds? It's Stephenie Magister here for a Queer History. We've got another list about fantastic short films from across the world, featuring trans, intersex, and non-binary people. Today's movie marathon includes 21 bangers worth 5 bags each, and we have a bonus recommendation at the end for a feature-length Pakistani film that will blow your mind. This weekend, I finally checked out a movie starring an acclaimed Asian actress who may finally get her due by leading audiences through an interdimensional rupture, in which an unlikely hero must use the skills, wisdom, and insight from each multiverse version of herself to return to her own dimension and finally accept her authentic self. But enough about the actress. The dimension-spanning short film starring trans actress Isobel Sandoval, in which, well, see the above description. Boom goes the dynamite. The actress is what I would call the trans short film version of Everything Everywhere All at Once, except it came out first. Isobel Sandoval is a trans filmmaker and actress with skyrocketing acclaim across the awards circuits. With her starring role in The Actress, released in 2021, she beat both the Wachowskis and the Daniels to Reinventing the Matrix. The Actress is a 5-minute short film that retells scenes from classic cinema if a trans woman had played the lead. In the film, a woman moves through time and space, embodying classic Hollywood's feminine ideals on a journey of self-discovery. As Sandoval's character searches for her unique voice, she infiltrates cinematic history and shapeshifts through Hollywood's most iconic roles. Yet, when she realizes her sense of self has become obscured, she begins to cast off the glamorous facade, musing on the roles we each play as we reinvent our identities to discover our true selves. Translated actors in movies in The Actress include Jane Wyman from All That Heaven Allows, 1955, Marlene Dietrich, Morocco, 1930, Isabel Rossellini from Blue Velvet, 1986, Jane Fonda from Barbarella, 1968, Malcolm McDowell from A Clockwork Orange, 1971, Jessica Chastain from The Tree of Life, 2011. Isobel Sandoval also directed the penultimate episode of the true crime limited series Under the Banner of Heaven for Hulu, which put her next to our friendly neighborhood trans ally Andrew Garfield. Garfield said in an interview, Isobel Sandoval was so precise, so sensitive, so professional, so talented and astute, and I really enjoyed her as a director. As reported by CNN Philippines, her episode earned the praise 1010 beautiful trans girl multi-hyphenate excellence from a letterbox user, which the director tweeted next to Andrew Garfield's quote. Isobel also wrote and directed the short film Shangri-La, the 21st commission from Miu Miu Women's Tales, her earlier film Lingua Franca, distributed by Ava DuVernay's Array and featured in the article 8 Foreign Films About Trans Women at Prism and Pen, was the first Filipino film in main competition at BFI London in its 63-year history. The short film The Actress is currently streaming on Mubi. Everything Everywhere All at Once is currently streaming through Showtime or available for purchase on VOD. The Matrix does not need to be streamed. The Matrix is all around you. At number 2, we've got Break Free from Rubik's Cube Productions. It's 5 minutes long. It's got 55 million views on YouTube. In Break Free, Ruby Rose explores the fluidity of gender and how the only person who can define your identity is you. Ruby Rose pronouns she, they, a gender-fluid lesbian well known for their transgressive roles on shows like Orange is the New Black and the first season of Batwoman, has on occasion stated that if given a choice, they would have chosen to be born a male. They are grateful, however, that they were born with reproductive parts that will allow them to perhaps one day give birth. For further reading, check out Ruby Rose on gender, bullying, and breaking free. I had a problem with authority at The Guardian. You can stream it here at the link below on YouTube. At number 3, we've got an independent production called Blooming Night. It's 9 minutes long. Mesmerized by a pair of red heels, a lonely street guy in Shanghai follows its owner into a forbidden club. There, he discovers something that challenges that awakens his mind. This short is inspired by the real underground elder LGBTQ community in Shanghai. It was the official selection of 2017 Outfest Los Angeles LGBT Film Festival, 2017 Shanghai International Film Festival, 2017 Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. To say the least, it's been acclaimed. You can stream it at the link below on Vimeo. 4th on the list, we have for Mona Anna from Hands Up Films. It's 13 minutes long. The film follows Chris, played by Maya Henry, who can also be found on YouTube, a young trans woman who is left home alone to care for her ailing Italian grandmother. Though not about transitioning from one gender identity to another, the film still has transition in a broader sense at its heart. Chris is still in the coming-of-age demographic, not entirely confident yet as a woman, while her grandmother's body is failing her. A move to elder care seems inevitable. The director and cinematographer tell the story through intimate details, relying on glances, cutaways to religious objects and other decor, and tight framing of the cramped home to capture the empathy and awkwardness between two relatives in different life stages. For further thoughts, check out the review, Sundance-bound short for Nana Anna Deepens the Trans Narrative, published with Now Toronto. You can stream it at the link below on Vimeo. Fifth on the list, we've got Dusk from Up and Up Productions. It is 15 minutes long. Starring trans actors in both cis and trans roles, Dusk is the award-winning trans short that stormed the festival circuit in 2017 and 2018, screening at 87 festivals internationally. Dusk is about the life of a trans man from age 2 to 70, starting in 1950s England. Unable to transition due to lack of medical help and information, Chris lives his life as a lesbian in what most perceive to be a same-sex relationship. The film examines how his choices affect the outcome of his life. Speaking to Curve Mag, the director said, quote, "The inspiration for the film came last year when I received an email from a festival programmer in Canada. Now age 70. They told me that they were basically happy, but it simply needed someone to know who they really were. The email stayed with me and made me start to think of all the thousands, if not millions, of trans folk who had never had the chance to live as themselves and how devastating it must have been." Awards and selections include that it premiered at Outshine Miami, winner of Best Short Film, winner of 30 awards, including Best Short Film at Soma Film Festival, Best Screenwriter at CFIFF, Best Short Film at Gaywise Festival London, selected for Tribeca's United Airlines online film package, and boy, that's something. You can stream it at the link below on YouTube. At number 6 on the list, we have De la Terreur Mes Soirs, or Terror Sisters. It's 25 minutes long. Today is a day like any other for Kaltoum and her girlfriends. They sip cocktails, look for sex on the internet, impatiently wait for love, and once again endure the transphobic insults of strangers. But today it's not going to be like that. The 4 transgender friends will imagine their revenge. A review from them said, "Yes, Terror Sisters is silly and dumb and occasionally cringe, but isn't that what being queer and extremely online is all about?" The short is such a delightful time because of how deftly it navigates the humor and flat-out anger of being trans in a cis world. Though grounded in a cafe where 4 trans women voice their frustrations with the world, the short leaves reality to dive into each woman's fantasy about how she would deal with cis-normative society. Terror Sisters rages against everything from expectations of passability to being forced to sit through trans films created by and starring cis people who perform vague approximations of us. Reclamation is hard and messy, but at least it can also be a great time. You can stream the movie at the link below on Movie. Number 7 on the list is Dawn from Up and Up Productions. It is 13 minutes long. As dawn creeps across London, 2 lost outcasts meet in the darkness, more afraid of themselves than each other. As the sun begins to rise and the veil of night is lifted, the pair are forced to look at themselves and face the harsh reality that life is sometimes what you make it, and then in the cold light of day, it takes more than the eyes to see inside a soul. The award-winning short film premiered at BFI Flair in London and was nominated at the Irish Prize Film Festival in both Best British and Best International categories. It was the winner of 19 awards, including Best Director at Toronto Queer West Festival in Toronto, Best Short at SENE Film Festival, New England. One YouTube reviewer remarked, "When he said, 'You're the first girl I've touched in ages,' and she burst into tears, I felt that. No words or exposition were necessary to convey what she felt." You can stream it at the link below on YouTube. Number 8 on the list is Masked from Momentum Studios. It is 15 minutes long. Masked follows the story of Zoe, a high schooler struggling to come out as a trans man. After knowing who they truly are for a while, Zoe finds themselves fatigued by their fear of whether others will accept them or not. Masked was created in conjunction with the 15 to 18-year-olds from the Knox Free to Be Me LGBTQIA youth group. The project is proudly supported and funded by Knox City Council, YACVIC, and the Victorian State Government. You can stream it at the link below on YouTube. Number 9 on the list is Still Me from Momentum Studios at 13 minutes long. From the filmmakers of Masked, Still Me follows the story of a non-binary teenager named Bailey. After coming to terms with their identity, it's time for them to come out at school and navigate what this means for their social life. However, this proves harder than they anticipate, and Bailey is faced with a choice between social ridicule or the closet. Luckily, Bailey makes a new friend named Zach. Still Me was created in conjunction with the Knox Rainbow Youth Action Group. The project is proudly supported and funded by Knox City Council, YACVIC, and the Victorian State Government. You can stream it at the link below on YouTube. At 10 on the list, we have Get Off My Turf from My Genderation, an independent production at 9 minutes long. Get Off My Turf is a short film about a transgender woman who finds out that her neighbor is transphobic. The film delves into some of the modern depictions of transphobia and explores friendships, solidarity, and conflict between 2 very different women. My Genderation is an ongoing film project focused on trans lives and trans experiences. All of their content is created by trans people, about trans people, for a much wider audience. You can stream it on the link below on YouTube. The 11th on the list is The Change Up from Silent Coyote Productions. It is 15 minutes long. This one is worth describing very simply. Tatum and Harley go out for drinks, and Tatum becomes distracted by his past. But for deeper touches on the narrative with as few spoilers as possible, the YouTube comments delivered the best possible promo for the movie. One YouTube review says, "Really beautiful narrative. It hits some of the core pains in many FTMs' lives. The film also highlighted the beauty that some FTMs may experience with cis women who could see the beauty we hold in the men we are. Thanks for sharing your art with us." Another YouTube review says, "My name's Jordan Robinson. I love this film because it showed so much of what I had to go through just to hide it away from my parents and so I don't get bullied. When I got older, I figured out I don't want to live in misery. I'm a transgender, female to male, and it's hard to grow up when everyone expects you to be normal, and I loved every minute of this film. Thank you so much." And a third review said, "I seen a trailer for this on TikTok. I thought it was going to be a full-length movie, so I was surprised when I seen it was a short film. It was amazing. I would love to see a full-length film with your story. My partner recently told me he was trans. I'll admit it was hard at first, but I couldn't imagine my life with any other person. This movie did truly hit home for me. Thank you for sharing your story. Much love." You can stream it too at the link below on YouTube. The 12th on the list is Like You from Lucky Tooth Films. It is 7 minutes long and currently has 1.4 million views. Filmed in Iceland in 2016, recorded in Icelandic, made in under 24 hours. On a remote northern Iceland, two strangers connect and realize they have a lot more in common than previously assumed. Like You is a trans-themed short film created by an all-trans cast production team. One YouTube review says, "This has some flaws, obviously, but I really like it. It's very rare to see transgender people depicted in rural areas. I am a transgender person who has grown up in rural Sweden, so this makes me happy to see." You can stream it at the link below on YouTube. The 13th on the list is A Trans with a Movie Camera at 13 minutes long. A Trans with a Movie Camera is a non-narrative cine essay that collaboratively explores the potentials for trans feminine representation in film. A review from them says, "There shouldn't be something revolutionary about seeing trans people existing on screen, whether it's watching them kiss or shave or hang out at the beach. And yet, a film like A Trans with a Movie Camera feels radically simple because of how scant such cinematic offerings are. Built as a quote-unquote cine essay and explicitly citing and playing off of Vertov's silent classic Man with a Movie Camera, the film offers an experimental and poetic glimpse into the beauty and rage of being trans." You can stream it at the link below on Vimeo. The 14th short film on the list is Slingshot Prince. It is 20 minutes long. It's 1995 in a small town in the south of China. A 12-year-old trans girl is bullied and tortured, but with her slingshot close by, revenge may be at hand. This award-winning short was made by Sixin Dandelion Lin. You can stream it at the link below on YouTube. The 15th film on the list is Frankie from Reed Seed Films. It's 10 minutes long. Frankie is an LGBTQ live-action short film about a non-binary transgender person who crashes their ex-partner's men-only 12-step meeting determined to be heard no matter the cost. Speaking to Film Shortage, the director said, "A few years ago, I entered into a men's codependency group. It was honestly the first time in my life I'd ever been in a space where cisgender men were so openly vulnerable. A common theme amongst all of us in the room was this idea that we denied our true selves in an effort to stay safe in the face of someone else's addictions and fears. My spouse, Morgan, who is a producer on Frankie and plays Frankie, was coming out as trans, non-binary at the time, and they were having so many similar revelations about their own experience. The commonality of that human need to be seen and recognized despite someone else's fear. That was the seed of Frankie." End quote. One YouTube review says, "This short but vital film is nothing short of a masterpiece. The complexities of this story are captured so eloquently, bring to life a narrative we never get to see in our media." There are so many conversations to have after watching Frankie. Although the story specifically explores the intersections of gender, masculinity, and recovery, there is a universal impact here as we watch Frankie stand up for their truth and demand to be heard. We can all learn a lot from Frankie. As a transgender person myself, watching Frankie brought up a lot of my own complex emotions about my own need to be heard, respected, understood, affirmed, appreciated, and loved. Morgan O'Sullivan, playing Frankie, is a tour de force in this short film. They bring an urgency and immense strength to the role that brings you to the edge of your seat. Their performance is a triumph for transgender and non-binary representation. I'll be keeping a close eye on Red Seed Films, James Krause, Morgan, and the entire team that made this film. This is storytelling at its finest. This is why I watch films. To find out more about the film, check out the review of filmmakers on LGBTQ short film Frankie from Out Front magazine. You can stream the film at the link below on YouTube. 16th on the list, we have Boy from Station Next at 16 minutes long. In Boy, Emily has begun binding and wearing masculine clothes. Their mother is pressuring them to wear a dress at a holiday gathering. The arguments get uglier as the event draws nearer. It is in Danish with English subtitles. Awards and selections for this movie are extensive. They include winner of the jury prize at Seoul International Youth Film Festival, winner of the Audience Award and Jury Award at the Next Film Festival, winner of the Audience Choice Award at Melbourne Queer Film Festival for Best International Short. The list goes on. At 17th on the list, we have Impact, 6 minutes long and currently sitting with almost 400,000 views. It is a short film about the struggles of being transgender, a trans man in this film in today's society. The short was made in a high school film course with the class teacher in assistance. One YouTube review reads, "Excellent film. Broke my heart up until the end when the young man smiled. I can't imagine how he felt, and thank goodness there are accepting, non-judgmental people as portrayed by the young girl." You can stream the movie at the link below on YouTube. 18th on the list, we have Lost and Found from Princess Jules. It is 10 minutes long. What would you do if your best friend came out to you as transgender? This is a story about self-discovery and friendships. One YouTube review says, "Julie, we are so proud of you and the platform you are giving our community by doing this. This is going to have a huge impact on young people everywhere." Another YouTube reviewer said, "As a nearly 50-year-old trans woman who began her transition in New York City at the age of 20 in 1992, it's so nice to see our lives proudly on display and to see our stories being told. When I was starting my transition, nothing like this existed. In the early 90s, everything was still so in the dark. Thank you, Julie, for opening the world's eyes and showing that our stories can have great endings." You can stream that movie at the link below on YouTube. The 19th movie on the list is The Real Thing. It is 8 minutes long. It has an IMDb ranking of 8.2 out of 10 and almost 250,000 views. When a soldier returns home, things have often changed. For Staff Sergeant Michael Waltz, the ultimate change is in his child. While on his tour of duty, his daughter has transitioned and started living her truth. Today, he is coming home to surprise her. One YouTube review says, "I've seen this so many times, but every single time the father says, 'Hi, Allie,' my heart melts and I tear up." You can stream it at the link below on YouTube. The 20th short film on the list is Night Ride. It's 14 minutes long. This Norwegian short made waves following its New York premiere at the 2022 Tribeca Film Festival. It went on to earn a nomination for the Best Short Film Live Action category at the 2023 Oscars. This makes it the only LGBTQ+ film to be nominated in 2023 across both short categories for the Oscars. Though the film lost at the 2023 Oscars to An Irish Goodbye, it still represents a stunning achievement in the history of trans cinema. Besides, who needs an Oscar? Night Ride won Best Narrative Short at the Tribeca Film Festival in 2022. Night Ride follows Ebba, an unassuming woman who accidentally commandeers a tram one night. She picks up a number of passengers as she travels across Norway, one of whom is a trans woman named Ariel. When two men on the tram begin to accost Ariel, things take an unexpected turn. Speaking to Pink News, the director said, "We could easily have shown it more from the trans person's perspective, but this story is about bystander bravery." Night Ride was shot throughout the course of a few days in December 2019 in the town of Trondheim, Norway. A producer on the film said over Zoom about the challenge of finding a location. In Oslo, they said no. We don't want to show that it's that easy to steal a tram. You can stream Night Ride for free courtesy of The New Yorker at the link below. The 21st and final short film on the list is Sam at 10 minutes long and currently with 8 million views. Sam is a short film about gender identity and LGBTQ bullying written and directed by Sal Bardo. After being bullied at school for dressing as a boy, Sam escapes into the fields surrounding his house, where he's forced to choose between who he is and who society thinks he should be. Sal Bardo is an award-winning writer-director whose movies and music videos often tackle issues affecting the gay and LGBT communities and has screened at film festivals around the world. One YouTube review says the giggle when he looked himself in the mirror and basically told himself, "I am a man," was so wholesome. Another YouTube review says, "Whoever's reading this, no matter who to what gender you are beautiful. Some people need to understand that we're all human and we live the life we want. You are great the way you are." I know I said this was just short films, but the next list is going to be a bunch of gender-funky feature-length films and documentaries. And while there are a bazillion hidden gems I can't wait to tell you about, there's one in particular I want to tell you to go watch right now. It's streaming for free in its entirety on YouTube. The movie is called Ball, and it is one of the highest grossing Pakistani films of all time. We'll talk about it a lot more in the next video, featuring 49 feature-length gender funky films to see before you die. Until then, check out the review in the link below. Head to my Patreon so you can support me making more content like this. And we'll see you at the movies next time. Or, well, we won't see you, but we might be streaming at the same time. So, anyways, streaming next time. Bye, 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 bye.